Sale Macro tutorial. During this time, we're going to learn how to 1. Set up a cost of sale macro, and 2. Run it on your cost of sale reports. Let's begin by setting it up. We're first going to download the macro onto your computer. You only need to download the macro once on your computer, and any user who accesses or who logs into that computer will be able to access it. So first, we're going to go to the common drive where the cost of sale macro is located. We're going to go to Common Drive, Accounting Public, Cost of Sales Training Materials. We're going to right-click on this cost of sale macro file. Don't open it, just copy it. And then we're going to go to the C drive, C:\\. It's also, oftentimes it's also a shortcut right here. Users, public documents, and we're going to paste that cost of sale macro right here. The reason we downloaded it to this public folder is because usually in operations, multiple users are sharing one computer. The public folder on your computer is one of the few places that can be accessed by any user who logs into that computer. So congratulations, you have finished downloading the macro. Now we're going to pin it. Again, we only need to download it once per computer, but we need to pin it once per user on that computer. So to pin it, we're first going to open this cost of sale macro where we downloaded it in this public folder. But let's just say that a previous manager already downloaded it to that public folder. And I'm a second user who's logging into this computer and I just need to pin it. I'm going to go to computer C, and I'm just going to go to the same location, users, public document, and it's going to be located right here for any user who logs into this computer. So let's open this file. And you're not going to see any file actually open, and that's because the worksheet is a hidden worksheet. But it is open, and you're going to right-click on this Excel icon, and you're going to pin this program to the taskbar. You right-click on it again, and now you're going to see this cost of sale macro file. You're going to click on this thumbtack next to it. And after that, you're going to right-click on the Excel icon again, and you're going to see that now the option is set to unpin since your program is pinned, and you're going to see this cost of sale macro pinned to your favorites right here in this category. It's going to be gone from this recent category now. And then you're going to close out on your Excel workbook. Even though you've closed it out, since you've pinned that program, that Excel icon should now stay on your taskbar. So now you are done setting up your macro. You can download the macro anywhere you really want to. You can download it on your desktop, your flash drive. I wouldn't recommend the shared drive though, because it tends to run slower if you run it from the shared drive. But regardless of where you decide to save your macro, you want to open the file wherever it's located and pin it to your favorite so that you can quickly access it. It's just that saving it to the public drive, to the public folder, makes it easier for any users to access that file on the computer. And so now that you've downloaded it and pinned it, we're going to run the cost of sale macro on each report. So to do that, we're going to log into my micros, and let's just say that I'm the D North manager. I'm going to click on my unit, and I'm going to go into each category. So I'm going to go into food, and I'm going to click on this first Excel icon. Don't click on the other Excel icon because that one will not work with the macro. And then I'm going to save this file to cost of sales meetings. You can save it to your desktop first and then bring it to the shared drive. It doesn't matter as long as it ends up on the shared drive for your cost of sale meeting. Then we're going to go into each category. But one thing that we're going to do differently for these other categories is that we're going to just move that tab to the file we just saved. So we're going to right-click on this for the paper cost of sales report. We're going to right-click on the tab. We're going to move it. And we're going to move it to that file, that period 3 cost of sales file we just created. And now this file has both cost of sales reports on it. I'll do that one more time. NABEV, the first Excel icon. right click on the tab, move, period 3, move it to the end, and now you have the food, paper, and NABEV all in one workbook. You're going to do that for every category. You're also going to take a screenshot of this view, and you're going to create a new tab and paste that screenshot and move it to the front of all your cost of sales reports. And we do that so that we don't have to log into My Micros during your cost of sales meeting. We can just open your workbook and go straight through it. So let me pause this tutorial while I do the rest of the workbooks. All right, so now I'm done creating, exporting my cost of sales report and creating these screenshots. So notice that I put all the units for D North and all the categories all in one workbook. And consolidating it this way is going to be easier than having separate files, since you won't have to constantly open and close each file. You can just access it all in one workbook. That's going to save you a lot of time. And also, don't forget to export each category in your units. Just because it's a low variance, you shouldn't just skip it just because there's a low variance. And so once you're done exporting all your cost of sales reports, you're going to run the macro. You're going to right-click on this Excel icon and click on this cost of sale macro that's pinned to your favorites. It's going to open in the background. And now you're going to hold Control-E, and you're going to watch the magic. And you're going to do that on each tab. So let's say you click Control-E and it's not running. You're just going to right-click on this Excel icon and open it again. That's all you need to do. And that's why we pinned it to our favorites, so that you can quickly access it if it's not open. So this macro automatically sorts your variances from highest to lowest. And it highlights any anomalies for each of your items. So for instance, the highest variance in your food for Wolfgang Puck is your butternut squash soup. And the receipt and Theo are highlighted in brown because there's a large difference between them. We bought 14 cases, but we only sold 4 cases, so that's been highlighted. For your bacon, the opening and closing quantities are highlighted because they're 0. The Theo is highlighted because that's 0. And so that's, those are keys to what you should be investigating. So this report really just helps you zone in on what you should look into. Should you look into your ending inventory? Was your beginning inventory off? So for instance, these two are highlighted, which means the opening and closing quantities have a large difference. So do I want to look into my opening or closing count? So this macro it'll highlight any anomalies. It'll also format it so that it prints nicely on landscape, on letter, paper. And then so for your cost of sales meetings, you have to explain your top 3 and your bottom 3 variances in each category. This report will not delete any items. It just reformats it so it's easier for you to analyze. And then once you put in your notes here, you do your research and put your notes for your top 3 and your bottom 3 variances, and you do that for each category. And you're going to save it, and when you're done, you are ready for your cost of sales meeting.